Mac, you were in the literal crosshairs of federal agents and police officers that were deployed here in some Pinochet style, totalitarian, disappearing organizers in unmarked rental cars last summer. There was also an extrajudicial killing of Michael Reinl, who killed a member of Patriot Prayer, which we still somehow don't talk about. There was this glimpse of like, if Trump continues to be president, also, this will only get worse. And Portland was in the national. Fox was talking about it every single night, right? This is a huge question, but what was it like to be in this city at that time as things got so politicized? And you personally, yeah.
I think it was like a level of feeling the unreal. Like everything that's people like worry about was just like actually happening, and we're like, oh, it's actually happening. It's actually the government here to like beat us up because we're holding signs. Yeah. So it was like a real thing. Like it was like, I bet you, if you break windows, the cops are gonna get mad, but they're not gonna. Oh no, they're gonna shoot us with munitions and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna actually happen. We're actually gonna get like gassed out here. Yeah. That's gonna happen. People were like, well, it's the feds, not the it's not the city. And the feds left in the city just kept on gassing us, and we're like, oh, it's really the same shit. So like for us, it was a validation, and I think for a lot of people, that level of validation about that, it validated a lot of other things that they had suspected.
Yeah.
True or untrue, it's going. If you're dealing with that kind of trauma, especially if you have like an addiction to it, like I think a lot of us, like, I have a couple of Gas Me Teddy stickers, I still stick them on stuff, right? You feel me? It's like, it was kind of addiction. Like we were like, man, I haven't been gassed in a week, bro. What's going on? We gotta go harder. Like it was a real thing, So yeah. It's like
the adrenaline
in that mindset. Yeah. And then the loss of adrenaline, and then like taking a shower and like, like wash your hair and you get gas in the shower by accident because you didn't know. That like it activates again.
You want the tear gas back?
No, I actually got like gas in the shower because I was washing my hair. I have a lot of hair, and I was washing my hair, and in the hot water, it activates like the dead tear gas. So I hadn't washed my hair like a week because I'm black. We don't wash our hair every day, and yeah. So I washed my hair at the end of the week, and I'm just like, I literally like almost like passed out of my shower, like I was in the ground in my shower because it was all steam and tear gas.
Yeah. Jesus. And then Teddy himself, Tevis. Also, he was gassed. He got it.
Was he not gassed?
Did he stage it? Was it staged?
He stood in the gas for a little minute. I actually give him some props. Like he stood in the gas for a hot minute with that little like, N95 on. But I'll be real, like he just did it to get the attention. I think he was trying to like run for senator or something. So he was like, I'm going to be the first mayor to get tear gassed by the feds, and then like. I'll run as like a justice warrior, but it kind of didn't work. So
you got gas once. It's like, all right, I've had my fun.
We were all
put everyone in jail now. Yeah. Sounds like a great mayor, guys.
Eric, what was that like for you? You've been studying like white nationalist movements around the country for so many years, and also in the Pacific Northwest, and to have all eyes on this moment that was so polarized, so misunderstood. What was your experience?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for people to accept that things have changed, right, in our society. And, I want to give credit to folks for, the last 3-4 decades who've been telling us just that. Not just about the white nationalist movement, but that white supremacy is coming to an end, right? It's inevitable, right? And it doesn't mean we should be less urgent. And so I think over these last decades, but particularly over these last 4 years, we saw the unfolding of a political nightmare that many of us had been warning about and trying to prepare a response. Look, there are two fights happening right now. This is a three-sided struggle, right? It is around the democracy that primarily Black folks and the resistance of indigenous people have built in this country, right? And we are trying to defend the vestiges of that democracy and push forward to the society we say we want. And on the other hand, we're in a struggle with folks who have backlashed against that, right? That is not what they believe. They believe in a world of exclusion, right? And they can only achieve that through ethnic cleansing. And they've been practicing that on the streets of Portland for 4 or 5 years without any response, except from community activists, right? And a racial justice movement that has come to realize, We are not the only social movement on the field. That's what's happening in Portland, but it's actually happening around the country. We just happen to be the stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that I mean, the other thing is like Antifa's been thrown into like, national view, right? As if like organizers haven't been counter protesting these white nationalists for decades and, and been there. Anyway, I think it's probably one of the more misunderstood parts of all this. But one thing that isn't misunderstood is whose side the police are on. And we know, as we saw only a week ago when Proud Boys were roaming the streets here, open firing, in broad daylight, that the only time the cops don't want to intervene in a situation is if white supremacists are involved. Like every other situation.
They come to rap shows.
What?
They come to rap shows. So I'm like,
Right. Exactly. But if you had like a, I don't know, an oath keeper on the mic, they'd be like, nah, we're cool. It's fine. It'll be good. But have you seen any change in posture from the Portland Police Department in this year, or are there any openings? I know we're from LA, and BLM LA has been incredible in terms of getting actual change, getting a new DA in office. What has been sort of the lasting impact of the uprising for Portland?
It's kind of funny for us, I think, because for us, like, it's like we didn't actually like defund the cops, but the cops are acting like we did. So
Right.
So like a bunch of them like retired, and now like a bunch of them are going to quit because they don't want to get vaccinated. So they're going to quit their police jobs, and we're like, that's all it took. Should have had a pandemic here last year. But so all the cops are quitting. So they're like, we don't have any cops. What are we going to do? The city's falling apart. So that's kind of where we are. So the cops still have all the money, but they're not going anywhere. They're just kind of sitting in the thing like, maybe the state can help us or the feds, so.
Is that their excuse for not intervening and not? I know that recently there was, the police department put out a statement that was like, we're not going to get in between any kind of white supremacist organizations and anyone who's counter protesting.
So
that's not our job.
Last
supposedly.
Sunday, we had a protest for Kevin Peterson Jr. across the river in Vancouver, and the cops were everywhere. There was like 40 cop cars, and there was like 150 people with signs and little kids and stuff like rapping, and there was like cops everywhere. So and they were like, yeah, we're actually corking for the parade after the white supremacists didn't show up because they were beating people up in Park Roads again, which didn't even make the news. So it's just like, and the cops were hands off. So it's like, it's always just the optics game out here. It's all that Portland is really about is optics and branding. So all the issues that we have just get like rebranded. Like Taylor was like, oh, I'm gonna get tear gas, and he was like, that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I've never had that happen. I climbed Mount Everest, and this was terrible. And then after that, like he was like,
helped me to the top, but I tipped real good. I give $20.
and then as soon as the feds left, he's like, oh, I'm gonna gas you guys, but this isn't tear gas. This is actually OC gas. It's different. Like it's just rebranded tear gas, bro. Like it's the same shit. So that's really all that Ted ever does.
Scared at all for like?
He's terrified. Have you ever seen that guy?
No.
Catch him in a restaurant. Watch him squeal, bro. It's crazy.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.